Hello humans, it's just Martine, and welcome to another episode of Jokes on Me. Jokes on Me is one of my favorite TBR games created by my bestie, Bailey from Is Bailey Reading. You can check out my previous episodes right here. Let's get into our card flips. I'm using a 6-sided dice for my game piece this time. We ended on readathon last time. Here we go. We're so close to the end, so we'll see. A 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Start a series. And that's the end of the round. So actually just card flip, but that's okay. We're going to start another series, which is perfect because this month, some of my friends and I are reading Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. That's gonna take a while to read, so it's perfect that it counts for something else, hooray. And then I'll also read a My Choice book, so let's get to reading. Why, hello there. I have finally finished a book for this. It was for the prompt Start a Series, and I read Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb, which is the first book in the Farseer trilogy, which is like part of this much longer series that is several series combined together. It's a high fantasy series, and I, shocker, gave it 4 stars with hopes that one of the books later in the series will reach a 5-star value for me. Like, that's the feeling that I have. So that's super exciting. If you do not know, this book is about Fitz, and he is the bastard son of a prince, and he's basically at the age of 6 delivered to the castle, like dumped on them from his mom's family, and is like, here, take him, he's yours. And in order to find something useful for him to do, they end up trying to train him to become an assassin for the king, and things kind of go from there. I will say the first majority of it, like the first 3/4 maybe, are quite slow, and I wouldn't say that a whole lot is happening. I didn't necessarily find that to be a bad thing because 1, it really helped me get a handle on what was happening and like understanding the world, and 2, I think it set up for a really rich reader relationship with the characters continuing on into the series, because we are going to follow Fitz not just for the rest of this trilogy, but in several of the other trilogies in the overall series. And so I think really getting to know Fitz and the characters around him in this first book is going to make the later books more impactful when there is more action. And it even made the ending of this book, like the last quarter of it, more impactful, because I think I was really rooting for Fitz by then and was starting to really like him and get to know him. So I was like scared and worried for him. And that happens a lot less, I think, when you jump straight into things and aren't given time to like sit and know the character and watch them grow and all those things. So I really liked that aspect of it. The magic in this is weird in a way that like works for me. Like, we don't have full explanations, but neither does the character, and it's kind of hard to explain because it's kind of hard for the characters to even grasp the magic. But it's also, while being elusive, it's also simplified in some ways for us, and so I felt like I generally knew what was happening with all the magic, which can be one of my problems with fantasy. And also, they definitely spent plenty of time talking about a lot of the secondary characters, and that helped because later on, when secondary characters made moves in the story and that changed things for the main character, you knew who it was. A lot of times I'll read these books, especially like high fantasy books, and there will be so many people that barely get any page time, and then there's a plot twist later where they do something and it's supposed to be like, gasp, this person did this thing, and the gasp ends up being more like, I have no idea who that person is. But in this, I like generally knew who people were. So hats off to Robin Hobb for doing that. Hooray. Hooray. I just finished reading my choice book for this episode, and that is 3-Story House by Courtney Miller Santo, which I'm giving 4 stars. It's a contemporary, like, lit ficky type story. It follows these 3 cousins. One is a professional soccer player, one, I forget what she does, and one is like a fading child star. One of their grandmas, so not all of their grandmas, it's on one of their mother's side, and one of their grandmas, her house, now that she's passed away, has been condemned, and so these 3 cousins go to try and rescue and renovate the house. And so we're following all 3 of their stories. Technically, the whole book is about all 3 of them together, but it does have 3 different chunks, and each of those chunks mainly focuses on one of the cousins. And yeah, I just really liked it. Like, it should be a slow book, but I flew through it. I really found the characters interesting, and I found their cousin dynamic together very interesting as well. And there was also kind of a like reality television component of this, because the one who was a child star is going to film like an episode of Where Are They Now? So like a film crew comes to the house while they're renovating it and drama ensues. One story is basically about how the soccer player has her like 4th injury and her recovery is not going well, but she doesn't know what her life looks like without being a professional soccer player. Another story is about how one of the cousins, her sister, is marrying the boy that she has always loved. Not that the sister has always loved, but that the character that we're following has always loved. And then in one, we're dealing with the fact that this girl was very famous on television growing up, and now she's kind of a nobody, and she's grappling with what that means for her and how she feels being out of the limelight and all of those things. So yeah, overall, really enjoyable book. I like that I have it in my collection, and it was a Dollar Tree find, so win. It had a fun like house renovation plus family drama thing going for it. So yeah. Loved that. Oh, one weird thing that I did want to mention is that some of the ways that they talked about characters' like weight and their appearances was weird in this book, but like overall I had a good time with this. And with that, I have come to the end of this episode. I read 2 books for this episode. One for the prompt of start a series, I read Assassin's Apprentice, and for my choice book, I read 3-Story House, and I gave 4 stars to both of those books. Really successful, if not long, episode. But also, the reason it was such a short episode was because I have completed this round of Jokes on Me. For this round of Jokes on Me, I read 15 books, and I had a really fun time not only getting to play Bailey's game once, but truly getting to understand how Bailey goes through making a round and all of those things. I'm not going to continue playing this game for now, but I definitely think there's a chance in the future that I'll come back and like play it for fun sometimes if I want some guidance in my reading. A lot of these ended up being really specific prompts for me that really hampered what I was or was not able to read, and I found that hard. For instance, like first on Instagram or first on YouTube. But I also know that in the new year, Bailey's working with Ruby to refresh the board, and Bailey is considering getting rid of a couple of those specific prompts and switching them out with something else, and that might help with my gameplay in the way that I read. I guess we'll have to wait and see, so you should definitely tune into Bailey's channel to see all of that. Not immediately in the new year because there will be Squash That series, but starting like a couple months into the year, it'll be a super fun time. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up and comment down below what TBR game should I play next, and subscribe for more reading, writing, and college lifestyle content. And until next time, bye humans, bye!